What if I told you silver is about to leave every stock in the dust this year? I know, you've heard bold claims before, but this time the signs are impossible to ignore. Remember the people who laughed at Bitcoin at $1,000 or those who shrugged off gold before it doubled? They all had one thing in common: regret. Right now, silver is quietly setting up for a move that could make today S stock market darlings look like yesterday S news. This isn't just another wild prediction or hype for clicks. This is your wake-up call. The window to act is closing fast, and if you're not paying attention, you could be left watching from the sidelines as silver takes off. The question is, will you seize this rare moment, or will you be one of those people who says, "I almost bought silver before it exploded"? Let's be honest, over the past few years, silver hasn't exactly been the star of the show. While tech stocks soared to dizzying heights and the S&P 500 grabbed all the headlines, silver seemed stuck in the background, barely making a blip on most investors' radars. The mainstream financial media has been quick to dismiss it, calling it dead money or a relic of the past. Meanwhile, everyone from Wall Street analysts to your neighbor at the barbecue has been piling into the latest stock market trends, convinced that the only way to build wealth is through equities. But here's the thing. While the crowd has been distracted by the next big tech IPO, silver has been quietly building pressure, like a coiled spring ready to snap. The skepticism is everywhere. People say silver's time has passed, that it can't compete with the returns of stocks. But history shows that when everyone is looking one way, the real opportunity is often hiding in plain sight. The tide is turning, and the forces gathering behind silver are about to make the skeptics rethink everything they thought they knew. Here's the first sign that silver is about to outshine everything else: explosive physical demand. While most investors are glued to stock tickers, a quiet storm is brewing in the silver market. Retail buyers are snapping up coins and bars at a record pace. Just look at the US Mint, which reported all-time high sales for Silver Eagles last year. Dealers are struggling to keep inventory on the shelves, and premiums over the spot price have surged, signaling real-world scarcity. But it's not just individuals. Industrial demand is also skyrocketing, driven by the global push for solar panels, electric vehicles, and green technology. Warehouses that once held mountains of silver are now seeing their inventories dwindle to multi-year lows. Meanwhile, the paper market, where contracts are traded with no intention of physical delivery, keeps the official price artificially subdued. But here's the urgent truth. When the shelves are empty, it's too late to buy. The disconnect between paper promises and physical reality is growing by the day, and when the squeeze hits, only those holding real silver will be in the winner's circle. While the average investor is distracted by the latest stock market headlines, a very different story is unfolding behind closed doors. Central banks, billionaire investors, and mining insiders are quietly accumulating silver at a pace we haven't seen in years. These are the same people who have access to the best research, the deepest pockets, and the most influence over global markets. They're not making flashy announcements or drawing attention to their moves. Instead, they're quietly building their positions, while prices are still low and the public remains skeptical. Just look at recent filings and insider reports. Major mining executives are increasing their personal stakes, and sovereign wealth funds are adding silver to their reserves. This isn't a coincidence. It's a classic case of us versus them. While the public sleeps, the elites are loading up, preparing for a shift they know is coming. The question is, do you want to be on the outside looking in, wishing you'd acted sooner? Or will you join the ranks of those who see the writing on the wall and position themselves before the crowd catches on? The smart money is moving, and time is running out to follow their lead. Take a hard look at the stock market right now. Volatility is back with a vengeance, and the cracks are starting to show. We've seen wild swings in tech stocks, sudden drops in major indexes, and a growing sense of unease among even the most seasoned investors. Valuations are stretched to historic extremes, with price-to-earnings ratios in nosebleed territory and warnings from respected analysts that a correction is overdue. For years, the old playbook said, stocks always win, just buy the dip and ride the wave. But the new reality is setting in. When markets get shaky, the herd doesn't stick around. They run for safety, and that's where silver comes in. Unlike overvalued equities, silver offers a tangible store of value that can't be printed or manipulated at will. As fear creeps back into the market, we're already seeing early signs of rotation out of risk and into hard assets. The urgency is real. When the herd finally bolts for the exits, silver is the door they'll all be trying to squeeze through. The smart move is to get there before the stampede begins. Every time you turn on the news, it feels like the world is teetering on the edge of another crisis. Geopolitical tensions are flaring up from Eastern Europe to the South China Sea, and global alliances are shifting in unpredictable ways. At the same time, central banks are racing to devalue their currencies in a desperate bid to stay competitive, sparking trade wars and inflationary pressures that hit everyday people the hardest. In this environment, traditional assets can get crushed overnight, but silver stands out as the ultimate anti-fragile asset. one that doesn't just survive chaos, but often thrives because of it. Just look at recent history. During the last major currency devaluation, silver prices surged as investors scrambled for safety. When trade wars erupted, silver demand spiked as a hedge against uncertainty. Every crisis is a catalyst for silver, pushing more people to seek shelter in something real, tangible, and outside the reach of reckless policymakers. The urgency couldn't be clearer. As the world becomes more unpredictable, silver's role as a safe haven only grows stronger. Waiting for the next shock to hit is a losing strategy. By then, the window to protect yourself may already be closed. Now, let's talk about the technicals, the language Wall Street can't ignore. Silver has been bumping up against multi-year resistance, forming a classic breakout pattern that seasoned traders dream about. Think of it like a coiled spring. The longer it's compressed, the more explosive the release. Recent weeks have seen volume spikes and momentum building, signaling that big players are quietly positioning themselves for a major move. History shows that when silver finally breaks through these key levels, the rally isn't slow and steady, it's violent and fast, leaving latecomers scrambling to catch up. This is the moment when charts go from boring to breathtaking, and those who hesitated are left watching from the sidelines. If you wait for the headlines, you'll already be too late. The setup is here, the pressure is building, and the breakout could happen at any moment. So, what's the timeline for all of this to play out? Think of it as a ticking clock. The window to act is closing faster than most realize. In the next 3 months, we could see silver start to break out as physical shortages become impossible to ignore, and more investors wake up to the cracks in the stock market. 6 months from now, if geopolitical tensions or currency shocks escalate, silver could surge as the go-to safe haven with prices moving sharply higher. And in 12 months, if these trends continue to accelerate, we could be looking at a full-blown silver bull market with gains that leave stocks in the dust. The scenarios are clear. Those who position themselves early stand to benefit the most, while those who wait for confirmation risk missing the move entirely. The countdown has already begun. Are you ready? If you're ready to take action, here's what you need to do. First, consider getting direct exposure to physical silver, coins or bars from reputable dealers, not just paper promises. Avoid high premiums, and steer clear of risky, over-leveraged products that can wipe out your gains. Do your own research, set a plan, and stick to it. And most importantly, don't go it alone. Join the growing community of silver stackers right here at MoneyMind Hub Pro, where we share insights, strategies, and support each other in protecting and growing our wealth. Remember, the biggest regrets come from missed opportunities. Don't be the one who says, I almost bought silver before it exploded. If you found value in this video, hit like, subscribe, and share it with fellow contrarians who refuse to follow the herd. Together, we can stay ahead of the curve and make the most of this historic moment. This video is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Investments in precious metals and other assets carry risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results.